I'll come get a copy from you.
You
Or
can
look.
take it.
Okay,
I want, yeah.
a little bit past 2, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda? There's just 2 things on there for discussion today.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. We're going to do.
I do have some board minutes that I sent you guys.
Oh, yes.
real quick.
Yes, we have board minutes from,
10th, 13th.
yes,
I know it's not on the agenda, but it's just because I didn't put it on
the 10th, meetings for the 10th and the 13th. You guys have copies of those?
Yes.
All right, let's do approval on the 10th first. We'll do them individually.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, a second. We have approval for the minutes on April 10th. We'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. All right, now we'll do the 13th. I'll make the motion to approve the 13th minutes. We're fine. Can I get a second?
Second.
I'll second that.
Pick one. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approval of the minutes for the 13th, say aye.
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 And opposed, motion carries. Now I'm going to turn it over to Sarah. Get her out of here. So I can get out of here.
Oh, it's okay. So as far as updates go, we did get a pretty good load of PPE from the state. Carrie and I went through and inventoried it all. We have an Excel spreadsheet that was given to us from Public Health. We had reached out and gotten the needs, basically what all of the long-term cares had in inventory, and then their need in a separate column. So Carrie and I went through the list and we divided up, like I believe we asked for 800 of the surgical gowns and we got around 200. So we got 25%. We divided it like evenly. So if we gave 25 gowns to Donnybrook, we gave 25 gowns to Regency. Acura and Carroll only asked for 10, so we only gave them 10 gowns. At this point, with not having any new cases, the state is kind of telling those long-term care facilities to not be using disposable gowns. They're wanting people to use the PPE. However, if we don't have any cases, we're burning through PPE it's hard to get for no reason, if that makes sense. And we can talk about that more if you guys want. I don't know what Daryl has, if they're gowning up every single time.
If it's a respiratory call, they go by dispatch and what they feel in the gown. A lot of trauma calls and stuff like that, we're not gowning up.
So Daryl said they're just sorting through the calls and gowning up only if it's a respiratory call. He's still using the reusable, the Tyvek suits.
Using Tyvek, yes.
So hopefully we're going to get to the point where we can get a few of these disposable gowns kind of in our inventory so that if we were to have a long-term care facility get a positive case, then we can move the disposable gowns there instead of just giving everybody the disposable gowns if we are able to keep getting some of them and then just waiting. So I guess we're going to move the inventory if we get a case in a long-term care, or keep the inventory on the gowns if Daryl has more cases. Or so everybody's sitting pretty good right now with PPE. We're getting more face shields in, should be tomorrow, and should have our first batch with Kemper and the library on Friday. So then we'll get those divided out between the agencies. So there's about 22 groups on my email list that we're managing between Carrie and I on the Excel spreadsheet.
And we did get, the masks, you ordered 10,000 from
Okay.
that place in Colorado that got paid yesterday. So
Okay.
I'm assuming since they got their money yesterday, they should be on their way.
Yep, I think Carrie said those are scheduled to ship next week, so.
Okay, now here's couple of my questions were, Courtney sees the bills, you guys are tracking, and you'll track it when we get it, so you'll have a notification. Now, going back to FEMA for reimbursement, can we do that every 30 days? Can we do it as needed basis, or do we have to wait for 2 or 3 months before we can ask for that money?
I
in
think
return?
you have to wait because
Okay.
they've just put out the notice of interest for anybody interested in the program, but they haven't funded,
Gotcha.
funded
Gotcha.
that yet. I know
Okay.
that the federal government sent, and I think that's why maybe we got such a big load from the National Guard again, because the federal government did fund the state of Iowa 44 million, which allows her, like Courtney said, the money's there, so then they're gonna keep
Okay.
buying and supplying as needed, so.
Well, I mean, just was kind of curious how quick we can get turnaround on that money in case we need it for
Yeah.
other things, so.
Now,
okay.
is
But-
the reimbursement process, when that all starts, is that something you were gonna do? Or who's gonna be responsible for filing what we need to file?
It's in the MB3 program. It's gonna work very similar to the EMPG.
Okay.
So when it opens up, and if it's anything like EMPG, it's always a year behind. So
Okay.
we basically get through the whole year and then it opens up for me to submit the claim for the previous. It's usually in the fourth quarter that I'm submitting for the EMPG reimbursement for the year.
Okay.
So it's through the MB3 program. So I'm the only one, or Region 12, that would know how to use that. So I'll work through it with
Okay,
Carrie.
I'm just curious if we have to do any more pieces of this pie. We need to-
Yeah, so the only
Watch
thing
the
that
reimbursement.
we've actually gotten so far would be the masks. Because most of the stuff that Daryl ordered, or we have ordered for Daryl, we don't even have ship dates yet.
Okay, very good.
I put in, I thought Carrie put in for 4 temporal thermometers, because I don't like what's got.
Mhm,
And, they jack those up to 220 bucks.
mhm.
They got us. I mean, what can you do?
Everything is at least double. We did get Stephanie's mom from Journey sent me a lead on some disposable gowns. And they're $4. The cheapest ones we had come across so far were $10. And that's something that they normally spend about 50 cents on. So, but we're not as, they're calling Carroll County inactive. So, I mean, the state is sending, they want all of the long-term care facilities, basically everybody wearing the basic surgical mask. And then they can put the homemade mask over it with the face shields and gloves. So that's the main PPE that most facilities are using right now. And then if we would have like, let's say we would have a long-term care that would get it, then they would have to go to those disposable gowns.
The people wearing these, are they complaining about their ears yet? If they do,
Yeah.
let me know. My daughter has a headband
Yep.
that they approved through Unity Point that has like buttons up
Yep.
here, and you can hook it up here so it doesn't rub on your ears.
So I think, I mean, I wear it here and there, and I can't imagine wearing that all day long.
She said that
Breathing.
after lunch, you could just feel like dental floss pulling on your
Yeah.
ears. It just cuts and cuts. That's why they finally got them approved, and she says they make a big difference. So.
Yeah, so
Sarah, I didn't hear, how's Daryl's supply of PPE?
is who supplying?
Daryl's, how is his supply?
His is good.
Oh, he's got a thumb up there. I see that now.
Yep, we got him some surgical masks. I think a lot of people were down on the surgical mask, but we had gotten 2,000 the first shipment, and then this last shipment, we got 4,000 from the National Guard. So, but I mean, they're only wearing these once a day. So you gotta think of all the healthcare workers, hospital, McFarland Clinic, everybody, each employee, a minimum of one of these per day. They're gonna burn through the surgical mask pretty quickly, so.
Yeah, and you talk about that Carroll County's inactive. That can change real fast with one of these
Yep.
plants where these workers are in close contact with each other. That could change real fast.
Yeah, so that's why we gave everybody an initial set of the disposable gowns so that if they had something, they would at least have, let's say, 25 in their facility. And then we kept some of the other ones so that if a facility would have an outbreak, we're not collecting them back around from everybody, and we can just move it to the first place that would have it. So we don't have a plethora of them. We just have maybe 90 in the basement. But if someone would give us a call, then at least those resources would go there instead of dividing them all equally. So Carrie and I just made that decision to start everybody off with 25 gowns.
Okay.
Our packing facility we do have, or the
Smithfield.
Smithfield, are they temperature checking? And in case someone asks, it's just, I assume that they are.
I assume most people are. We've had a lot of businesses reach out. They're wanting to know where to buy thermometers from. The thing we found with the thermometer, Carrie got 2 of them on Amazon. And something that, like Daryl said, maybe was $50 before is $99 now. So it's double the price. But the biggest thing is to find one that's accurate. And like what I've seen here at the courthouse is as soon as we switch them to the ear thermometer, it takes the temperature in the ear. It was much more accurate than the one that they were trying to scan our head. Because I think I've had the exact same temperature for the last 5 days.
Mine was different today, but other than that, the first 3 times it was
Yeah.
the same.
So, I mean, it's creating that baseline so that all of us coming in every day, we got this baseline temperature. And then if we would go up 2 degrees, it's going to flag it to be like, oh, that person might not be feeling well today. So
Okay.
the biggest thing everybody's running into is these thermometers. So you kind of just got to watch on Amazon. You got to watch to see, oh, we've got 100 in stock today. So it's whoever, like if Daryl has, he ordered 4 from a company he normally orders from. So his order is going to be in the queue. And then when that company gets it in, they'll fill Daryl's order. So I think with the governor announcing though, with the essential businesses, I think most of the businesses have put those policies into place.
Any more questions for Sarah off the top of your head? I think she's doing a good job staying up on front of all this.
Did everybody figure out the new maps? It finally got updated about 7 o'clock last night.
Yeah.
I mean, they're putting a lot of good data on there. There's a lot of people that are concerned that the data is 24 hours behind, but that's a decision that they made at the state level. So public health has just kind of been putting out there how many cases we still have pending. So I do think that the community likes to see that.
Did they drop their regional map then? I've had trouble finding that this morning.
It's on, if you click through, it's like at the end.
Okay.
There's a bunch of tabs at the top.
Okay.
And you'll see this graph and this,
Okay.
and then you go and it's an RMCC map with the numbers.
Okay.
So
Very good.
we were at a 9 and then we dropped to an 8 and then I see we're back up to a 9. So I don't know if they're updating that at different times in the day, that RMCC threshold number, but I did see that we're in that region 1 and we're back up to a 9. So
Can you lobby to get us out of that region?
yeah.
I think that's because it's like got Polk County in it and there's just a lot of people in our
Yes.
area.
I think they
versus-
have quite a few deaths this time.
Yep, and it's
And that may what drove it.
based on those six metrics of how many got put into the hospital in the last 24 hours, how many testing is being done. So we just have, since I started 10 years ago, 11 years ago, we've always been a region 1 with Polk County because of people in Carroll tend to go to Des Moines.
More than they go to Omaha
Yeah.
or Horses City.
Yeah, so we're just in that region 1,
Okay.
so.
Is it true that if that number goes to a 10, she would issue a shelter in place, or is that just a standard?
That's what
Somebody
she
said-
said.
They
Yeah.
covered that question today in the press conference, and it sounded like that determination was made at that time, but she never ruled it out.
Mhm.
So I have a
Yeah.
feeling you're probably right. That's probably the one that's gonna get
But I don't
over
know
the
that
top.
that would really change a lot for us because
Unless-
supposedly everything that's essential is open now.
And unless she would pull more essential workers away from them, that would be the only thing that I could think of, and just go to health and security type people.
Mhm. So. I don't know, what else?
Okay,
Carol, anything, your people seeing anything?
I don't see anything that they reported to me, we had a few fevers and this and that, they've been asking all the questions and it's been normal. I mean, they're concerned.
Yeah, I kind of heard that there's some respiratory things going around that's not COVID. Yeah, and that's gonna really complicate it for a while.
No, yeah, because even somebody I work with said that someone they knew was tested and the flu came back as the positive. So I think the flu is still floating around, which has a lot of the same.
Same
Symptoms.
mimics.
They've been documenting in their reports, they've been asking all the questions. They've got a fever, but they're taking precautions.
Mhm. So I don't know, it's just status quo, but that's okay, we'll take status quo.
Okay, anybody got any questions? You're all muted. Dean's good. Okay, Sarah, you got anything else for us? Go ahead.
So I know that public health is working on the gowns.
Oh, yes.
And so she was collecting sheets. So,
Well, the only reason I brought that up, my wife piped up, says the last time she was in New Hope, there were pillowcases running out of their ears.
yeah, eons. I think they like the flat,
Yeah,
a lot of people use the fitted, but not the flat. So she's partnered with that lady from West Side. And then that lady had some other people that are
joining in.
Yep, joining in it. So
Okay,
Sarah's working with people that are willing to take the reusable gowns, because if you see these long-term care facilities that are getting the coronavirus, it's the workers that had it first. So it's protecting the residents from the people that had gone
Through the
home
worker.
through the worker, yeah.
That makes sense.
So this lull, I guess, just buys us more time to get more prepared. So,
To get more PPE in.
yep. So Sarah is working on that, and I
Sounds
know
good.
she has that message out there, so.
Okay, well, we're better position than we were a week
Yes.
ago. Okay, very good.
Because we have no new cases.
Sarah wrote this morning, she said they're doing as good as they can. That's what
Mhm.
I'm doing. Stocked as they can be right now.
Everything we get now is just gravy, so.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
I'm gonna look at this.
Thank you, Sarah. If you got any questions or problems, you know how to find me.
I certainly.
Thanks, Sarah.
Okay, then we'll jump down to, let's go ahead and talk about this Families First Corona Response Act.
Did everybody get a copy of the plan?
I
Yes,
got a
did.
copy.
Okay.
Okay, Neil, you had one suggestion.
Well, I don't know, it's not a deal breaker, but I think it would be a good idea to make a statement in the goals section that we are basically trying to explain the family first coronavirus response act. In case something gets out of context, we're kind of rewording the whole thing to make it more understandable. And it's not a deal breaker, but I would prefer that that statement gets added in.
Okay, and essentially, it's just we're making an attempt to clarify this act.
And the statement basically was that Carroll County will follow the Family First Coronavirus Response Act passed March 18th as summarized in this document.
Would you want that up in the notes section where it's bolded, or do you want it in the goals section?
I think either place would work, but it would probably fit best in at the end of the goals section.
Yeah, I don't have any problem adding that.
Okay. Other than that, is everybody else pretty happy with what they seen?
Yeah, I don't have any problem with that.
Courtney, was there anything in that statement that was drastically different than what is already in the Families First Coronavirus Response Act as far as us making a determination?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with the way you're adding that on there.
Okay, so do you want to vote on it today? Do you want to have the change and then vote on it? Or do you want to vote on it and then have Courtney make the adjustment?
I think we could just vote on it with the adjustment added.
I'm fine with voting on it. At the beginning, we have our ability to change it at any time.
Okay, I just something else we can get off our plate and get it over with and get moving forwards with other things, so.
I think within that first document, that first paragraph, it says this is a working document and will be further updated as information is released. That covers us at any times to change things. So I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the Carroll County, Iowa Infectious Disease Action Plan COVID-19 pandemic effective April 15th, 2020.
I'll second that motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
Does that motion include the statement that Neil wants entered in?
Yeah. Is that what you're gonna put in? Okay, yeah,
Okay, with the addition of
with the addition.
okay, very good. Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second with the addition, and we'll go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries. Courtney will get that out, and
Yeah,
you
I
already
will,
sent something similar to the employee.
kind of. They got the actual flyer in payroll
Okay.
today. What I'll do is I will add that to the goals section, and I will send it out to all the department heads and you. And I'll also get it put on the employee portal, so
Okay.
it'll be there.
And they can post it in there.
Yeah,
Or however
and
they,
department heads can, it's only, I think it's 7 pages. Department heads can print this off and disperse it to
Okay.
their employees.
Very
I
good.
think it's kind of a waste of resources to print one for everybody
Yeah.
at this point, so we'll get it to the department heads for
Right.
disbursement, and it'll also be on the website, so.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. All right, anything else? Gene?
Courtney, is the department heads gonna answer back on that survey of ISACs in regard to the changes as far as employees and stuff? Did you see there was a survey that they had requested to be filled out?
I had a survey I filled out for them a couple weeks ago.
This just come out the last 2 days.
I'll have to take a look. I don't know that I saw that.
Okay.
Okay, now, Gene, you had also mentioned hazardous mitigation.
Yeah, we need to get that off our plate too.
Okay, well, Courtney was just talking to Sarah about that before we got going, and the bill has showed up for it, so we'll have to address all that at one time, and we'll, do we need them to come back in, or they've already been in once? Does he want to come back in and do a final on that, or?
He said he would.
I don't know, was there a lot of changes to it?
Not that I'm.
Just some
When he was
minor-
in the first time, I think he wanted us to respond with any concerns we got about it. Has he got any response at this time?
I don't think anybody's got anything. I haven't received anything, and Courtney doesn't have anything.
Well, so is that something that needs to be put on the agenda for Monday for you to pass then?
Well, I know it's been passed by a lot of the other communities and stuff. Yeah, it's something that we need to adopt at some point in time.
Okay,
Frozen.
And I have no problem having them come in and go over it with us with what changes there were. I don't think we need to go through the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be any changes to it. We might as well pass it.
Just an update, I think, is probably all we're gonna see. Okay, that's fine. We'll put it on the agenda for Monday and then we'll try to pass it. Everybody get a chance to review what you do see of it.
Did everybody get the email with the new plan?
Say that again.
Did everybody get the email that had the new plan on it from Chris?
I think, yeah, I did. That's been a while back.
I'll find it again and I'll resend it out.
Yeah, would you please?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Courtney.
Okay, so that'll probably be on the agenda for Monday. Something we can clean up, get it over with. I will visit with Chris about that low-income housing thing and I may have him come in or jump on the Zoom meeting, give a short little presentation on what our expenses are and what the accomplishment would be. And then that way we can just kind of mull it over a little bit and go on from there. Because as I understood it, I think there's only 5 chances for the whole county. And the highlight of it, there's only 5 people that can get it. And about our advertisement in the paper is about all we're out for cash. We don't have to come up with anything, but I will just to come in and explain that a little bit better. That happened the other night did he explain that the other night in the Region 12 at all, Neil and stuff?
He touched base on it a little bit, but it was more figures on where they were at with houses that were coming into Jefferson, but not anything for future.
Okay. I just got an email from him later that night and I left the meeting early, so okay. I'll visit with him, see when he can get in. Anything else? Anybody would like to see on the agenda or needs on the agenda for Monday? Okay, if not, I guess we're ready for adjournment and we'll try again Friday. I'll send Sarah a text and if she really doesn't have anything, I'll just want her to let me know by noon. That way I can let you guys know that we're not going to do it.
Okay, I'll go ahead and make an motion to adjourn.
Okay. We have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Thanks, everybody. Stay safe. Neil, I need you.